Well, I wish I could give you the tea, but mine's just a little bit tart, and that's why it's called Leah's Lemonade. And honey, a star has arrived at the lemonade stand. The one, the only, the Grammy-nominated songwriting, producing, performer, artist, Victoria Monét. Welcome to the lemonade stand, sis.
Thank you. That was a great intro. Thank you.
I'm a stand. Like, listen. When I found out that you wrote only one, like, it was a wrap.
Oh my God. Okay, so deep.
Like, I mean, but I have to give you background though, because I know that you are behind some of Ariana Grande's hit songs. And when that first album first came out, I was literally in college at Howard, got on the shuttle, went to Target to go get this album. So you know what I'm saying? Like your ties to some of my favorite music are deep. So sis, I'm here for this whole conversation. I'm here for it.
Yes.
This is a Stan account.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, even aside from Ariana, your range in writing and producing goes far beyond her. I mean, just to name a few: Chloe and Halle, Chris Brown, Normani, Nas, Brandy, Mary J. Blige, and probably some people we can't even say because you know Hollywood got ghostwriters, but we gonna do
that. The way I love you, you're so funny.
Because sis, I know how it goes, and I know that your pen is too crazy. You know, I'm just saying. If you see, you know, I don't know, Monet Victoria in the credits, we know who it is. We know. All tea. But you know, first of all, there's a lot of congratulations. First of all, congratulations on your new baby, Hazel, who's gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
The whole
she's
family.
Great. No, she's like, I think false advertisement for baby number 2. Like she's made it really, really easy for us. Like just a good girl. So yeah, she'll be 6 months this week too. So
I mean, it's crazy because I feel like last year you were in a cycle of like giving birth in a weird way, right? Like the album Jaguar was like the birth of your debut, and I know like you had talked about the metaphor for the Jaguar and kind of you coming out of the dark to be in the spotlight, and then you literally conceive a child 2 months after that. So talk about that duality, you know, kind of presenting yourself to the world, and then you know you have your baby.
I do think you're right. In a lot of ways, it's a birthing experience in multiple dimensions of my life. I think the theme and the through line is really just being fearless, because there's a lot of fear that can come with being vulnerable with your music and also starting a new chapter as a musician, and you know, being a woman in the workplace and also having a baby and trying to do everything. So I think it just really comes down to women being powerful and fearless and fierce and unapologetic, and like, you know, that's why I feel like when I look at a Jaguar's eyes, they're like, it's like, oh, you're serious, you know. So I feel that energy with the music, with everything in life. And I think what I want people to take away from the project is that energy too, just to do exactly what you feel is good for you, what you feel confident in, what you really believe in, you know? So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and then you also talked about, like, you know, when you were doing interviews before Jaguar came out, you said that it was kind of a cultivation of you growing into yourself as a woman, growing into your sexuality. And then so talk to me about that, because I know like when we're at this age and we're in our 20s trying to just figure shit out and figure out who we are, you know, aside from who we've been, right? Talk to me about that transition and then transitioning into motherhood, because I hear a lot of moms, I'm not a mom, but I hear a lot of moms talk about having to find themselves again after giving birth. So talk to me about like kind of coming into your womanness and yourself with this album, and then having a new caveat to that layered in motherhood.
You know what? I think it's really just a process. You know, we're growing every minute of every day. And so when I put music together, it's a representation of what I've lived, you know, in the past. And then the next day after I put it out, I'm experiencing something completely different. So I feel like it's just this cycle of really trying to find what it is that you love in a creative way musically, and then add your life experiences to that, which are changing, forever changing. So I feel like it's like an infinite amount of creativity, because there's always something new to talk about. And it's really a growing process, just living life, like there's so many things that have happened in the world this past year, it's like, it's a lot to process. So I think really looking at music as not a permanent view of who you are and how you are, but an ever-changing thing. And so Jaguar is one step towards that. I have a part 2 coming as well. So I think there's some nuances in part 2 coming that, will share some of the new things that I've experienced even since part 1.
Yeah.
It's really like a journal,
Yeah. And we love to see it, and it gives that vibe, especially with the single Coastin that just came out. That is giving us all the summer feels that we needed to step into hot girl summer.
Okay? We just want to be outside. We want to be outside.
Be outside, right? Like, let the windows down, hair bundles, okay? Like,
absolutely.
And I love that your music has hella double entendres in it. So if you're picking up what she putting down, then you picking up what she putting down.
North, south, east, west.
Okay. No, one of the things I was going to ask you though, so from listening to Jaguar, just the way that you write music, and sometimes like Beyonce, when she's performing, she's Sasha Fierce, right? Alter ego. Are you the type of girl to shoot your shot? Because in your music, you give me the vibe like you'll run up on a nigga and be like, okay, this is how it's about to go down.
I feel like you're right. That's not naturally. I feel like in music, I can kind of create this character and almost encourage myself and create this confident person that maybe sometimes doesn't exist in other areas of my life. So it's like, it definitely is like an alter ego for sure. In my wildest dreams and on my best day, I'm that confident, hair blowing in the wind.
Right.
I'm gonna say hi to everybody I, want to, girl, so, but then other times I'm just like, oh my God, it's like, you got to just kind of trick yourself out and like, go there, especially with the music. I think it being the soundtrack to those moments of your life can really help you be like, you know what? I am that girl. I can do this. I should, Yeah.
No. And I feel like as women, we all have that side, whether we show it or not, right? Like there's always depth to our character. So when I listen to the music, you feel like you that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's exactly the vibe I want to have. I feel like, there's always, conversation between guys and what they're thinking and what they would imagine girls huddle up and talk about, which is completely different than what people would think. Like when we talk about the same, we're like, okay, this, it's not so clean and dainty all the time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times I try to represent that honest conversations that we're really having, what we really want to say.
Right.
For so many years, we've kind of been pigeonholed and like, cross your legs, be prissy, and say nothing. Like that. So I'm kind of, fighting that too, and it's really just keeping it real,
Yeah. And I think like after 2020, like real is that's all we're getting. Okay.
Yes.
That's all it's giving. That's all we got. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The other way. And speaking of 2020, of course, you had your baby, and first of all, your family is so freaking beautiful. You're gorgeous. He's gorgeous. The baby's gorgeous.
Thank you.
I can just look at y'all's picture together and be like, damn, wow, they're all fine. Like, how does that happen? How does what is the luck? What ask Sierra for her prayer. Sis, what was yours? It's like, Lord, make me pretty, Lord, make him pretty, make my baby pretty. Like, how does one get here?
You know what? I'm really blessed. I've actually, usually been more attracted based on personality alone, right? I'm usually like if the guy's funny, if he's, you know, treats me well, like
Right.
those can win me over. And thank God this man, for some reason, has everything. So I'm like, I don't know what I did. Thank you, karma. Thank you, God. I'm not complaining. You know, I have the note. Please, let's just keep going on this.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you ever think when you saw this man at the gym that like you would be building a life with him? Because I know you had said in previous interviews y'all like went to the same gym, then you randomly asked him to be in the Moment video, and then now y'all have a baby and a life together. Did you imagine?
No. I was just coming to get some muscles. I was just coming to get muscles, and then I got a lot more than I bargained for.
Right.
But you know what? There's a reason for everything. I feel like God put me in a place and at the right time. I was going to that gym a year before we actually really even spoke. So like, it wasn't just like, you know, a quick, you know, I got the balls and was just like, can you come to Africa with me, South Africa, and be in this video?
Right.
I didn't even ask him. My manager asked him because I was like, no, I'm going to have to see him after the video in the gym and I don't want it to be weird. Let's not ask him.
Right.
And so she was like, well, we have to leave to South Africa today. We have to have someone. Yeah, because the original guy was supposed to be the lead dropped out like last minute.
Right.
So that's how that happened. And I was like, you know what? I guess that was just the puzzle pieces, the storm that I needed, you know?
Okay, wait, real talk. When y'all were like doing the video, did you feel it then? Or was it like, it was just work?
No, I felt moments of it. Like, I'm like, okay, I know that we're like acting and everything, but then South Africa feels so magical. Being a 3-day shoot, the sun setting and rising. We have early call times. We're just out in the middle of nowhere, and they're just asking us like swoon. And I'm like, oh, this is too much. This is way too much. There was a director's assistant, and he had to be like really far off camera so that it looked like we were in the middle of nowhere. So we would hear him in the like screaming from the fields, keep going. I was like, this is crazy. Insane.
Well, but the music video gave what it was supposed to have gave, honey. And guess what? And then now he's your man.
Yeah, we woke up from the ground.
Okay, listen, they say Africa, you went back to your roots and then found it was like a metaphor. Your roots, his roots, your baby. It all works out.
Yes, for sure.
But I love it for y'all. So gorgeous, so beautiful. And your baby, those eyes. I'm just like in love. So
thank you. It's so crazy. We didn't know when we had her in the hospital, it was like really dim. So we didn't know her eye color until like the week after. I was like, huh? Wait.
What? Right. That's my baby on?
Yeah.
No, yeah. Gorgeous. Okay, wait. So we have to talk about this tweet you put out to Dua Lipa. Have we heard anything? I know like last week you said no, but I'm just saying, Dua, sis, what's good?
No, we haven't heard anything. It's just been radio silence, crickets, you know, haven't heard anything. But, you know, I'm just a huge fan. I feel like that song is so fun and like disco and skating, you know, so I feel like if you were to pop that right into Jaguar around Experience, it would feel natural. So I was like, we should do something, you know?
Yes. Well, and speaking of do something, I've been seeing on the internet that everyone is like, why has Silk Sonic not called Victoria Monét yet to put the sound together that they're trying to accomplish, because that's what you do so effortlessly. Have we heard anything from the Silk Sonic camp? I'm just saying.
No, but when I put my audition tape out there, Anderson did like it, and I want to say he retweeted. Ooh. But I still also haven't heard anything. I haven't got a call back. So, you know, either way, I'm such a fan. I'm so proud of D-Miles executive producing my project and working on their project as well. So I think it's just a matter of time, really, before we do something. But either way, I'm such a fan. Like their live performances, they're funny characters. And so I feel like I'm glad that people are comparing and connecting those worlds, because I'm a fan of, you know, what they're doing too. So sounds good to me.
We're here for it. So I've heard some of the people that you want to work with, but who are your musical influences? Because I do think that your ear is so different. The way you're able to, cultivate hits, also produce. I know you also like vocally produce people in the studio. So like who are your staples or your like real musical inspirations?
I think as a performer, I'm gonna name 4. It's Janet, Aaliyah, Sade, and Beyonce. As a songwriter, doing, having duality, being an artist as well as people like Smokey Robinson, Missy Elliott, you know, and then as a vocal producer specifically, I have to give it up to LaShawn Daniels, rest in peace. He really, I was in a girl group when I first moved to LA, and he was vocal producing me. And so the energy that I felt from the inside of the booth is really what I want to give artists that I work with, and how clear he was, how his vocals, his stacks, the way he heard harmonies and stuff. I'm still very much basing my whole style on LaShawn Daniels. So shout out to Liz. He's incredible.
Yeah. Well, and I have to say, speaking of Beyonce, word at the lemonade stand is that you were at her writing camp. I don't know how true that is.
Not me.
Not you?
Not me.
Other Victoria?
Baby, I don't know. I don't know. Different Victoria. But that is a dream. In my dreams when I'm asleep, yes, I am at her writing camp. I am working with her. I'm singing. We got a concert together, all that. But in real life, not me.
All right, we got to lemonade stand. We got to find her alias and see if her alias that she writes all those other hits under is on the writing camp roll. Okay.
Y'all please just manifest it for me. That's all I ask.
Yes, we are manifesting because I mean your future is so bright. You're so incredibly talented. And I wanted to circle back to you talking about the girl group because it reminded me of the Encore on BET. I don't know if you've been watching where they put all those old girl group members in a house to make like a super group. But
I've always seen clips, but is it good? Is it good?
Girl, it's really good. It's drama though. It's like, it's reality TV, so it's gonna give you the best of both worlds.
It's fun.
But they put together a good album. It's like the #1 R&B album right now. Their EP.
Totally, I missed it.
Yes, girl. Yes, girl. So, but watching the show, it was about putting the faith back into girl groups and that girl groups can be successful. And so I wanted to know a little bit more about yours because I saw in an interview you talked about there were times that you even lied to your mom about just how things were going on because it was a struggle. So talk about that time in your life when you were grinding, trying to get your beginnings, and it didn't work out.
I was definitely heartbroken at the end result at the time, but now I kind of seeing the trajectory of my career, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and that was just what was meant to happen. But my experience within the group and with the girls, Latoya and Siobhan, I learned so much. They were much stronger vocalists than me, so I had to pull up. One was a fan of Brandy, so she had all the runs down, tone wise. One. She was a fan of Jill Scott, so how to project and having a soul for your voice, and then adding again Big Shiz vocal producing all of us and seeing his writing process and everything. So that part of my career was so crucial to do anything that I do today. I feel like if I didn't have that experience, I would probably lean towards being a different type of artist that maybe wouldn't, or writer that I don't think would be as respected or prominent, and that I have to give it up to that experience. Although it didn't work in the end, it was definitely something that was necessary for me.
Yeah. And I mean, y'all were under Dark Child at that, so I can only imagine the influence.
All the sauce, all the R&B, all the, just surrounded by greatness, and everyone that was signed to Dark Child as well in the studio on our level was great, and now has gone on to do great things. D-Mile is one of those people. Tommy Brown, who's also all over the charts, is one of those people. just like a good crew. I feel like Rodney Jerkins has a really good ear for talent, you know, like who can, diamonds in the rough,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it definitely shows, because you know, there's this conversation constantly in the industry about if R&B is dying, and I think that, you know, people like you, people like, you know, Silk Sonic making these sounds that you know, Black music was kind of brought up on is
Right.
important to maintaining what it is. Tank, you know, just the people who are really still about R&B, who make R&B music.
Right. Yeah.
And
I
think
don't know
that's
why people would say it's dead. I just like, there's so many, you know, I mean, maybe it's easier for me to see because I'm in music and I can see, like, my friends are doing it, but maybe to the world, like if it's not charting #1 on Billboard, you know, maybe that feels like it's dead, but it's definitely this so much spirit and so many people are fighting for it and passionate about it. And yeah, definitely so alive, especially I feel like even more so in the last, more visibly in the last three years or so. Creating more space for more than one Black woman to exist at the same time and be, you know, I think that was something that we needed to fix. And I feel like, you know, that exists now. We can see, we can name at least 5, 10, you know, Black R&B artists that are thriving. So I'm definitely grateful for those changes. But yeah, the messaging is not, R&B is alive. You know, it's everything.
Right. Well, and I was gonna say as well, I know that you had talked about when Jaguar was coming out, not wanting to be put in a box, and I think that, like you said, in the last 3 to 4 years, we're starting to see, even with the way that like hip hop, females in hip hop is expanding, or we're seeing like a Lizzo who's a straight up pop girl. You know what I mean? She has nothing to contribute to what people would say is urban. You know what I mean? Conversations about her music. So I think like we're starting to really see the multifaceted level of like Black talent and music makers, which is nice because again, we're not putting ourselves in these boxes. You either do R&B, hip hop, or rap. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I feel like is people try to categorize your genre of music based on the color of your skin, and that's not okay. If you're Black and you want to do R&B and all you want to do, that's fire. But also, if you're Black and you do country, if you're Black and you want to do rock and roll, like all of these things should be open for you. And then when you get to categories like the Grammys or any award show, I feel like that should be the consideration, just music versus like, oh, but she's, you know, he or she is this color, let's kind of keep them here even though their music says otherwise. I feel like that needs to be more, you know, more discussed and clear. But yeah, like I do think Black people, it's just in us. We can do, I feel like all the genres really started, you know, with
people. Come on.
So, you know, although now maybe they're looked at and taken over by majority other races, I feel like we should still be able to tap into those markets.
At any point, right? Because again, the origin of most of these genres of music did come from Black people, and that's why I loved, you know, Lil Nas X's success with Old Town Road, because that was the biggest view to anybody who ever tried to play him.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. And he keeps doing it too. I love him so much. Like, it's people, resilient people like that I respect so much, because the world really hates things that they don't understand.
Yeah.
So to win against those types of odds it makes me so happy and like excited. And he's just funny. Like,
oh, he's a troll. A whole troll.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what he does.
Right.
So, I'm glad that he doesn't let it get up under his skin and he just keeps going. He's like, okay, I'm not taking y'all seriously. You know, I'm just gonna keep doing what I love.
Right. He's in his own lane. Yeah. That's one thing I always give Lil Nas X. He's a troll, honey.
He's funny. He's an entertainer. That's what it is. He's an entertainer.
Yeah.
I'm very entertained.
Truly, honestly, truly entertained. I wanted to circle back though, and kind of in the realm of what we're talking about. In 2018, you came out as bisexual, and I've seen in interviews you talked about coming from a strict family, and so I can only imagine the internal battle that you had. Not only saying that out loud, but then thinking about, because it's one thing to say it to the public. I think sometimes, complete, and you know this from doing music, complete strangers sometimes will support you more than family.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
What? How did that go with your family when you did it? Was it something that you had consulted with them before, or you just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna say it," and then go on about my business?
Yeah, I mean, when I first said it, it was thoughtless. I was like, it was just like I had bubbled up to the red zone, and I was like, I have to say, like this is what needs to be said, and then I'll deal with repercussions later. But me and my mom have had really healthy conversations. She's been really, really supportive. When you're growing up, you raise a certain way. It's sometimes hard for you to understand how or why, or you try to put a reason to it versus understanding that this is how people are born, and there's nothing wrong. You're like trying to explain and break that generational trauma.
Right.
So I think she's doing a great job. I'm proud of her. I know she's proud of me for being super honest. It's been really, and I say this as a luxury because I know everyone doesn't have that same situation and response. So I feel for everyone who, has to go through struggles dealing with who they are, just because of who they are. So I'm really lucky and blessed to have a situation where my mom is now, she's around, she's here, she's supportive, she understands. And I feel like everyone else, as far as friends and family, came secondary. Once my mom, once I got my mom on the same page, it's like, okay, everyone else can take however long they need,
My mama good, I'm good.
Yeah. So it was really important, to do that. And I encourage everyone, to take that leap, because I think the support outweighs, although it may be scary, the support often outweighs the negative things, especially on social media, because there's so many of us. We're like, you can't outnumber us. We're an army. So
squad.
Yeah, I feel like once you connect with those people, it feels a little bit safer and better for you than like hiding and pretending you're not, you're someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the year we've had, I just think that life is too short to not be living it for yourself.
It's so short, and you just never know, like today, tomorrow, like
what is it? Right.
Yeah. So just be you.
Yeah. And speaking of being you, you did an interview with Fuse about a year ago. They put you on a lie detector test. One of the things that you said that I thought was super interesting is they asked you a question, and you answered, and you said, I think I put others before myself all the time. And so I that kind of struck me for a second, because I wanted to know, as you grow into your womanhood, and then on top of that, being a mother, how do you find time to really nurture you? Like, you're busy, you're an entertainer, you're a writer, so you're writing for other people. You now have a baby that comes first. How do you make time for yourself in this season of your life?
That actually has been a constant struggle for me. That's one of the areas of my life where I really, I feel like sometimes me caring for people is caring for me, because I like to see them happy. I like to see them. So, but, I'm in therapy also, and that's one form of self-care for me, just to kind of replenish and refill my cup, because if I'm empty, it's like, it's like when you get on a plane, they're like, put your mask on before securing others, because if you don't have no air, then
you can't help anybody else.
So I think looking at it that way helps me. Looking at it like, if I'm good, then I can help more people. So be good,
that's that's a struggle in general. Like when you're a working woman trying to like figure out what is balance.
Yeah.
Especially Black women. You know what I mean? Like we're told as young girls, like you gotta do this, you gotta be on top of this. You know what I mean? Like it's almost sometimes an internal like drive that makes us not focus on ourselves. Like that's why I'm here for this whole Black women in luxury moment that we're having right now, of like Black women obtaining luxury no matter what it looks like, because you know we can go a long time pouring into other facets of our lives without ever considering ourselves.
I mean, well, I feel like even in our culture, sometimes it's celebrated. It's like, I don't sleep, team no sleep. That's not good. You know what I mean? Like we kind of normalize and celebrate, like we look at it, the struggle as hard work. Like I am supposed to struggle. I am supposed to not sleep. I am supposed to just do everything and, you know, not take a day for myself. And so shifting that mindset is really a whole reset. It's like, so no, I should sleep, because then during the day I am more productive and I'm in a better mood, and I'm, you know, all of those things that I'm reaching towards probably will come faster because I'm rested enough to think cells to do certain things. So it's been interesting trying to like, you know, change that.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of speaking of, you know, giving yourself another direction, what do you think fulfills you more? Writing the hits or making and performing the hits for yourself?
I would say as an artist, I get to do all of those things. I get to write, I get to perform, I get to travel, I get to create things. So I think writing, being an artist comes with a bigger package. But I love also creating songs for other people, because I don't feel like it's almost like I get to make things up. I get to tell fairy tales, because these things don't actually apply to my life, but they apply to someone else's, so I can explore and, you know, be creative in that way. But if I have to choose, I think artistry just kind of gives me a little bit more playground. Yeah.
Right. Has there been a song that you gave away that you low-key wanted to keep for yourself?
Almost. There was a song that that I really, really loved, and I wasn't, you know, a big artist, and I didn't have a label, but I felt connected to it. And then we went to a meeting, and an A&R of a really big artist wanted the song. And I thought about it, and I was like, I don't want to sell out, you know, like I don't want to do that. So I said no. But now looking back at it, I wish that I'm like, I don't even really like that song anymore. You know, like I change daily. So like I should have just, you know, that's a part of, you know, being a creative, just trusting that you can there's, you know, an infinite amount of creativity there. You can do it again. You're going to, as long as you're living and experiencing new things, you're going to create, you know, a new version of something that is great. So just being able to let go.
Yeah.
Thinking in abundance, you know.
That's a word.
Yeah.
That's a whole word. No, I'm saying that because, you know, like I've toggled between being on air and being a producer behind the scenes. And I always tell people being a producer is such a thankless job because, you know, there's a duality for sure. You know what I mean? When you help push people to a certain level, but no one ever claps for you. I'm sure you've had your season of like wrapping your head around that, because I know what it's like for people to congratulate everybody in the room but you, and it was your work. It's a lot of therapy, a lot of cleansing, okay, to maturity. But I think to your point, one of the things that I've learned is about letting go. And if you have done it before, you will be able to do it again.
You're still you. Like you are still you. You know, that's the part. You know, even after giving birth, there was some mental blocks too at the beginning, like 6 weeks after birth. Like, oh, I'm so different. My body's so different. My brain, my hormones, everything. And I just had to be reminded that, but you are still you. So the same way you worked everything out before when you were, you know, low and in the dark, you will do it again, the same thing again, you know, as long as you're you. So just remembering that in the back of your head as a piece of security, like, well, here we go again, self, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Buckle up. Right.
Mhm.
Okay, so I saw in the interview that you said that you felt like it was a full circle moment when they used your song on Insecure because it's one of your favorite shows. And so, they're going on their last season. But I gotta know, they left us with a hell of a cliffhanger this last season. So if
Yes.
you were in Issa's position, are you staying with Lawrence even though he got the new baby on the way?
Um, that's hard because now I have context of how hard a baby is to raise. So I'm like, that's a lot of work for her.
Right.
That's a lot of work. So that's hard. I mean, if you love someone, you love someone. You know what I mean? If they're your soulmate, then I think they're worth the work, but just know it's gonna be a lot. It's not just, it's not just the guy anymore. It's coming with a whole package and
Yeah.
I know. What do you think? What would you do?
Girl, I don't know because right, because her and Lawrence were like, I really enjoyed their relationship before, the whole infidelity situation. And I feel like all these years have kind of matriculated to them coming back. Like, I felt like they never really had a connection with anybody else that worked as well as theirs did. But damn, the girl being pregnant, Consuela, what's her name? I don't even know. Consuela, charcuterie board, whatever her name is. She threw a monkey wrench in that bitch. Like, damn, what?
And I'm keeping it. Okay, girl.
Like,
okay,
right. Like, but I also feel like she kind of knew towards the end of the season what it was giving. Because remember, her and Issa were friends. And
I mean, this is why she's keeping the baby low key because she wants. I feel like she still wants
that connection.
She wants she wants to kind of have that hold a little bit. Like, I don't know if it's a genuine, like,
I really want this baby. Well, she's saying she's like older and, she wants the baby. But I just was like, ooh, because that puts Issa in a shitty spot. You just got your man back. And they got history.
That's the thing. If she were to move on, do you think she would be forgetting him? No. She's probably still going to, I mean, at least probably mess around. If he doesn't plan to stay with old girl.
No, he doesn't want to be with her.
And he's going to be single, which means she's probably going to still dip in and out, even if they're not in an official relationship, which gets complicated. So you might as well just own up.
But baby change shit. And I'm going to be honest, like, Victoria, I'm not mature enough to fuck with a man with a baby. Because, especially in those early years, because men don't know if they want to be a family or not. Even if they don't like their baby mama, they don't know if they want to be a fucking family. I've experienced this myself. I'm telling you, Victoria, it ain't worth the hell. Like, they got to be 5 years old. Like, the resentment for the baby mama has to be high enough for me to know that you genuinely won't go back home.
So you're saying she should just be single for 5 years and see what he feels after that. If she don't find nobody better than him after 5 years, then get back.
Because bruh, like, if we have a date and then your baby gets a cold and you gotta go because y'all think I'm gonna be ready to whoop everybody's ass. Like, the fuck?
Because it's true. It's so true.
You know it as a new mom. Like, shit just comes up. Like, and it takes your immediate attention. If you're a good parent, you know what I mean? Unless parents gonna be ain't shit, you expect the baby in the hierarchy.
Well, that's true too, because if he doesn't run to the baby's, rescue, then you're gonna side eye him like, ooh.
Right.
I hope you don't do that, baby. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Issa gonna find a way for our mouths to drop. Because I mean, when the episode put it that way, I was like, no, the fuck she didn't.
No, yeah, because I thought that like this was it, like their moment, and then, damn.
Like, even the way they were directing it, like the shots were beautiful when they went on that date.
Yeah.
I just was like, okay, we're finally getting it. And then fucking charcuterie board gonna call and say she's pregnant. I said, what the fuck? What the fuck? See, that's inspiration for your next song, because that's some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, called What the Fuck.
What the fuck?
WTF.
WTF. Exactly. Okay.
The summary of the whole damn year. What the fuck?
What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. Inspiration for somebody's album title, because what the fuck? And I'm sure everyone would enjoy it, okay?
Hashtag what the fuck.
Hashtag what the fuck, okay? Okay. And then the album cover will just be a face mask and niggas will know what time it is. Okay.
Wow, exactly.
Okay. I'm not gonna hold you much longer, but I do want to play a little game with you off of your song Coastin. So I'm gonna play a game. It's called Coastin or Ghostin. And so if you are feeling this type of person, you can coast with it. If you're not, you're gonna go ahead and ghost it.
Okay, that's cute.
Okay. Could you date a mama's boy? Is that a coastin or ghostin?
Coastin.
Ghostin? You not fucking with it?
Coastin.
Oh, coastin. Okay. I like a mama's boy too.
They're sweet. Yeah, mama's boys are sweet and they know how to treat a lady.
That part. I love it. I love it. A person that makes less than you, coastin or ghostin?
Coastin.
Okay. A person that snores.
I'm gonna have to go to sleep first. I'll coast.
Okay.
A little bit. It depends on also how fine.
Yeah. Isn't it true? If your man is fine, you can excuse a lot of shit. It's horrible. It's horrible.
But you know, it's honestly sad to say it's the same kind of way with kids a little bit. Like if it's a really cute kid, you're like, okay, you being bad, stop. But if it's like a runny nose, like you're like, yeah.
Okay. Okay, now this one gonna break the internet. A person who likes sugar in their grits, coastin or ghostin?
You know what? I'm coasting. I can make them a separate plate. I'm not gonna put sugar in my grits.
I'm judging a little bit, but
you like sugar in your grits?
Girl, what? Get a little butter.
That's dessert.
No, and then you gotta put. Oh, you're a vegan, but put a little bacon in it.
Well, you know what? Because when I think of grits, I'm like, I'm really pescatarian.
Yeah,
I was vegan for a while, but now I'm back on the fish. So I'm thinking like cheddar, cheese, shrimp and grits. Yeah, like that's my grits.
I'm indifferent.
You would prefer sugar?
No, so my stepdad is from Louisiana, and when they took me to the place and did that, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
I've actually never had it.
And my grandma prepared it like that when I was younger. Like that's how she made it. So that was the only way I was introduced to grits.
Yeah. Okay, I can understand that. I feel that.
Okay, next time we're in person,
please, I need to taste it because I actually haven't tried it.
In 25 years when we're together, because this pandemic is going, we'll like your daughter will be in high school and shit.
Okay.
All right. Okay, coasting or ghosting a person who has a kid?
I'm ghosting. I already got my own.
No! Wait, now we gotta break this down. How you gonna say no when you got a kid though?
Well, I mean, they shouldn't want to date me either.
Stop.
We both need to go our separate ways.
I can't. All right, fair enough. Okay. A person who has debt, coasting or ghosting?
Coasting.
Okay.
It's also just a matter of I have to throw in like the level of love, you know? Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'm not really like, I'm not looking for sugar daddy financial, like.
Right.
So I'm like, sure.
Right. I can deal with it.
If it's debt, but you can still buy me flowers. Okay, fine.
Right. Right. If we get to Ruth Chris and your card declined, then we got an issue.
Oh, you know what? We gotta go.
Put the church finger up and walk out. All right, coasting or ghosting a person who lives at home. Could you be going to somebody's mama's house?
Ghosting. No, yeah. I'd rather you run up your credit or something to get a place than to be. I can't smash in the guest room of your mom's house.
Listen, he bringing a little life to your life, okay? All right. Coastin or Ghostin, a person in the industry?
Coastin.
Oh, sis, you better than me. I mean, you're obviously way further in the industry than me, but girl.
Only because it's really like those are the only people we see. It's like we don't really
have any other option, right?
There's no other life, really. We just like in the industry. They're everywhere.
I know it's like, because you know how shit these men are in this industry and women too. Shit.
Yeah.
But I get it because like that's literally your whole surrounding. So, okay, this is my last one. Coastin or Ghostin, a person who has cheated?
Ghostin.
Ooh, that's a non-negotiable?
No.
I know that's right.
I'm like, we've been there, done that. I don't have time. I don't have time. Bye.
I don't either. Well, listen, you survived Coastin and Ghostin. Thank you so much. I've had so much fun. I feel like such a kindred spirit.
I know. I'm like, yeah, we're friends.
Yeah, like genuinely, let's go. Where are we going? Like, you need a babysitter because I watch Hazel. She's so cute.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Let everybody know where they can get your new single at.
You can get my new single Coastin everywhere you can stream music. Pick your favorite platform and it will be there. Also, you can follow my Instagram at Victoria Monét. Monet spelled M-O-N-E-T, and that will give you so many heads up on things that are coming. So
yes, and we're still on the lookout for Jaguar Part 2. So be on the lookout, Victoria. Thank you so much. And lemonade stand, grab a cup, throw it back, and sip on all of that.
What's up? I'm Victoria Monét, and you are rocking with Leah's Lemonade.